Hello, hello. It is time for another edition of the Black Belt News Network's Spotlight Newscast. So here we are. I am Cindy Fisher, publisher.
I'm Todd Prater, staff writer.
So it is February 23rd. We are here on a Friday at noon like we like to be.
Yeah,
It doesn't always work out.
I just wanted to be there with you today, but it didn't work out that way. But we
So
will
yeah,
be.
I'm at the office today, and instead of being in front of the green screen, which I normally am, I'm here at my desk, and this is a painting of a kingfisher, which, as you know, our company is Kingfisher Media. That is the bird that it's named after. It's
Beautiful bird.
small and feisty, just like
Yeah.
me. That's why we named it that.
Very much so.
So yeah, and this office is on Broad Street in Selma, the Queen City. So if you ever want to come by, give us some story ideas, stop by and tell us your thoughts, and also get papers because we have racks here, and also for the Selma Sun, we have the voter list edition right now.
Oh, that's right. And we have a supplemental this week too. So
Yes, so check that out. It looks like I froze for a second.
yeah, you did. How do you sit so still?
I don't know. It's a talent. All right.
All right.
Okay. Well, it won't let me do anything. So we're going to talk. So tell us about your interview that you just had.
Oh man, I had a great interview. Most people have heard of the Oak Ridge Boys, and they are on their farewell tour. They'll be in Montgomery March 2nd, and I got the opportunity to talk to Richard Sturban. And a lot of people say, well, Richard Sturban, it's familiar, but who is it? Well, if I go, Papa, giddy up, Papa, everybody knows who Richard Sturban is. He is the bass singer. And what a great interview. We'll have that up later on, either today or tomorrow, later on. So be looking for that interview and a lot more coming up. You're still sitting mighty still.
I know, and it won't let me do anything else. So why don't we go ahead and talk about our top headlines? You can still hear me, right?
Well, maybe move around a little bit and see if you can get a better spot. All right. What we got on our top headlines? Are you going to try to be back here? Unfortunately, you never know with internet. And, of course, lately we've had a lot of different situations with cell phones, but we haven't had internet problems. Let's see if we can get her to come back, and we will continue with our headlines. And Cindy, you there? All right. Well, looks like she disappeared completely. Maybe we should regroup. All right, coming up, we've got some stuff we're going to talk about. We got the block park cleanup. We've got a lot of Jubilee information we're going to talk about. A lot of things happening. Jubilee starts Monday, the Bridge Crossing Jubilee. And for those of you who are watching who don't know what the Bridge Crossing Jubilee is, that is a reenactment of the 1965 Bloody Sunday March. And the Jubilee itself starts with events Monday, runs throughout the week. There's events that starts in earnest Thursday. Friday, there's a number of different things. We have all that, and I'm hoping that we can get Cindy back because her computer has all the video on it. And then, of course, Saturday is going to be a big event, Jubilee event with the folks over in Lowndes County. They get together and literally start in Marion, which is where the civil rights movement started. And they'll drive their classic cars from Marion through Selma, across the bridge, and back home to Lowndes County, following the route across the bridge and into Lowndes County that the marchers used back in 1965. And Cindy, you going to be able to come back to us?
I'm back.
There you go. Good.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, welcome to live video. So
one of the things too is when you're in the Black Belt, the Wi-Fi is not great here, and it was
yeah. And,
So,
recently the governor's talking about an initiative to fix that problem. We just need to keep pushing to let everybody that's in Montgomery know that we need that. We need that.
yes. So you had a chance to talk about Jubilee while I was gone.
I talked a bit about Jubilee, and I know we have a lot more about it. And I didn't want to give away everything because I know you've got some information you wanted to bring up as well.
Yeah. Did you talk about the voting rights?
No, I did not get to that. I was talking about basically just some the Lowndes County thing, and then talked about, but I did not talk about the voting rights yet. So let's go there with that.
Right. So I think one of the cool things about this year's Jubilee is that they're going to be pushing for voting rights and showing up to the polls. Because really the biggest challenge is you can get people registered to vote, but they still have to come in order to for their voting rights to be heard. And that's the topic for this year, is it not?
It is, and Dr. Wofford was talking. NAACP President Lawrence Wofford was saying that registering people to vote is great, but the time spent registering people to vote is wasted if they don't actually get out and exercise their, and he called it, privilege to vote, which I was glad to see, because it is a privilege. It's not just a right; it is a privilege to get out and vote. And if we don't exercise that privilege, and once you are granted the right, use that privilege to make your voice heard, our democracy won't work.
Hi, I'm Cindy Fisher, publisher of the Selma Sun, and I am here at the bridge, at the bottom of the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and we are waiting. So actually, I would love to show some footage from our, so this is last year's Jubilee.
Yeah.
Look at the thousands that come, and that's what's such an economic boom for the Black Belt is Jubilee. It is such a huge. See, that's President Biden that came last year. The Vice President Kamala Harris came the year before. We do not know who's coming this year yet. So they held a press conference last week, and the organizers, which that's Rose Sanders, one of the organizers, and they have not received word yet on who's coming from DC. And that's kind of tricky because, I know that there's scheduling involved, but there's also scheduling on our end too, because we have to get approved, last year to be in the press corps. So this is me doing a stand up after it was over, and that you see all the trash everywhere. That's part of it. But we always welcome thousands. It was such a lovely day last year. I remembered my sunscreen this year. See, there's Terry Sewell, who always comes and speaks as well. So we're excited to see who's going to come. But the events actually start Monday, and they do all the Kingian nonviolence seminars that they do. The Foot Soldiers Breakfast on Saturday, a week from tomorrow, is always on. I go to that one because I love hearing from the folks that tell their stories. And they were celebrating there at the end, and that was on the other side of the bridge. So Jubilee's a big deal. I know thousands come in. I think it's still tricky on how to make sure we use it to our advantage, having Jubilee in Selma and the Black Belt.
And like you said, both Lawrence Wofford and Hank Sanders, who did one of the organizers, they both said there's a lot of dignitaries coming, like the president of the League of Women Voters, the president of NAACP. They'll all be here, and we know that. But from the White House, Hank said that Senator Sanders said they've sent invitations, but they traditionally wait till the very last minute. So it'll be sometime this week before they know if anyone.
Yeah, and the Unity Breakfast at Wallace is usually a grandstand spot where a lot of those people that come on Sunday, so it's first thing in the morning Sunday, will do their speeches. And I know we've had Hillary Clinton here in I think 2019. So I mean it's usually packed.
Well, Sharon Wheeler, who was at the press conference with Senator Sanders, said that Martin Luther King the third will be at the Unity Breakfast. He makes it a point to be here every year.
Which one is
Martin
the
Luther
one?
King's son.
Okay, one
So
of
he
them
comes
passed away. The grandson, I think, passed away. Someone,
Well, maybe it's the grandson and then son.
the grandson. I think the
Yeah.
son passed away.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah,
He's going to be there to represent the family at the Unity Breakfast. So
and that's always an honor.
that's always an honor. So yeah, it's going to
Well,
be a
yes.
lot. Whether anyone from the White House comes or not, there's going to be a lot of dignitaries that will be really great to hear from and see here in Selma.
An election year, I'm expecting to hear some big names.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, let's move on to the tornado relief.
Yeah.
We got a report. Selma City Council got a report last week from the administration about $21 million in federal dollars that people have been asking, like, what are y'all doing with this money? Have you gotten it yet, et cetera? So the city did a report to show, they've got a lot of the funding going toward infrastructure fixing that, and they're basically saying we're going to be doing work soon with that fund, which includes some economic development process, which is helping the businesses get back up and running, getting their infrastructure back in place and rebuilding for repairs needing to be made so that they can get back in shape. And also with, that's Old Orville Road right there, right after. We love to bring up these photos so you can see, where we are then and now. So that's still kind of a mess, but you can tell it's a lot better.
Yeah, a lot has changed. And,
a lot will change.
These things take time. It's going to take time.
Yeah, and there's a reality there about it. But look at the selmasun.com and blackbeltnewsnetwork.com has a story about this federal tornado relief dollars that's going to be spent. There's 59 blocks in the downtown Selma, and the disaster area 1 is what they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot that you'll see going on there, including resurfacing those blocks. $2 million grant from Delta Regional Authority, which they're doing a press conference on Tuesday to discuss more about that funding and what they're going to do with it, and what we can expect to see. So still going on a year and a month later.
Yeah.
Actually, a year.
It's still got a long way to go too. So.
Yep. So talking about cleanup. In Selma, there was a big cleanup last Saturday, and this is of Block Park. And so that's near the river, near the marina. And this is Clay Carmichael, the councilman for this area. And he had spoken about what and why they did this cleanup, so that there's holes in the slides, which we've shown some footage of that. So the slides behind him are not in great shape. When it floods from the river, often it will pick these items up. The tornado actually picked some of those items up and put them on top of the fencing. That's the volunteers that came out, including my daughter.
Who's that pretty redheaded girl there?
The pretty redhead in front is mine. And that's the Interact Club that is associated with the Rotary Club of Selma. And they're at Morgan Academy. So real happy to have them there. And the Drug Free Communities teenagers also came. And that's Jeria Martin's group. And helped with the cleanup. And LaMarcus Snow, of course, he's known for doing a lot of work out here, was there as well. And so it was really nice to see that work done. And it was very cold. My daughter was like, my hands, it took her a while for her hands to,
Well, a good thing they did that. There was a lot of dangerous areas that they cleaned up and fixed up so that the kids can actually play on the playground, safely.
We're going to stay in Selma for a second, just talk real quickly about, we have groups that come in, and we had a group of Presbyterians come, and Northern Heights Presbyterian Church in Selma on Mentor has not been meeting every week for a while, but you see that the mayor, James Perkins and his wife was there as well. He did a real lovely speech about the area and Selma, where they are on their disaster relief, and welcomed everyone there. This is Pastor James Ephraim, who is in Wilcox County, and a real neat area, Pine Hill area, that has used to have a very active, the presbytery. When it was segregated schools over 100 years ago, they came down and built schools that was sort of like a private school for Black children to go. And it's an Anamani area near Pine Hill, and so neat. I've been a part of this group for a while, working with them, so I happened to be there. But wanted to show people that, we have groups that come in that are very interested in what we have going on here. So we're staying in Selma again. There's a really neat book that was that a Selma woman has put out, and her name is Carol Bonner. And she, what I love about it's a hold on, I'm going to find this video, since I lost the video when I lost my oh, here she is. So her husband is pastor of Potter's Place in Southside area. And so this is a book reading that they did of this book that is actually available on Amazon. So it's kind of neat to spotlight some folks in the Black Belt that are doing good things, including writing books.
That is cool. Especially, people don't think of us as the folks that would write books and stuff like that, but people would be surprised outside of the Selma and the Dallas County and the Black Belt area.
Well, Carol also has a Girls with Pearls group, which I've highlighted before.
Yeah.
She's really big on empowering young African-American women and children to grow up to be the powerful girls that they can be. So I love her topics. I'm going to switch over to the VFW event. We had briefly talked about it before, but tell us a little more about this event this week.
Well, we had talked about the From Our Hearts to Yours event, which was happening at the VFW. It happened this past, the 22nd was Thursday, yesterday. It was a place, it was a time for people to come, the veterans to come and get help from the VA, and a bunch of, there were so many different organizations there. Now, Aaron Roper, who you saw stand there, has the Vets Helping Vets, where he gets the paperwork started. This was the organizations that he helps the vets get the paperwork started, coming to town to help pick up and complete the process and make sure that everything is right. They're going to do this on a quarterly basis now here in Selma, but this is not just for Selma people. This is for people in the whole Black Belt area, and the surrounding area. There were people there yesterday from Mobile. There were people from Perry County. There were people from, I think he even said Marengo. So this is a Black Belt thing, and they're just doing it at a central location. It was packed, as you can see. The video at the beginning where the parking lot was kind of empty. Yesterday when I drove up, I should have taken video then. I almost didn't have a place to park myself.
Oh, wow.
It's good to see that our veterans are getting the help that they deserve, and that we, the citizens they protect, owe them. So that will be quarterly, and Aaron says he's going to let us know when they're doing that so that we can get the word out. Of course, his Vets Helping Vets is the first Saturday of every month. And as he said, I believe last week, they're not going to, or it says in that interview that's on the on our website right now,
yes,
they won't hold it the first Saturday of March, because it's Jubilee weekend.
Yeah.
But they pick back up in February as usual. This is going to be a quarterly meeting, and they'll do it once a quarter, but there's not a specific date yet. He's going to let us know so we can tell everybody.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I always end our newscasts with a big thank you to sponsors and a welcome for other sponsors. Thank you to Randall Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Doing a lot of great work in the Selma, Dallas County area, and we appreciate him, and Randall Miller and Betty Miller. And also follow us. This is how to know what's going on in the Black Belt: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And we have a lot of videos, a lot of clips that you see on our newscast has run in actual newscasts elsewhere. Sign up for our daily newsletter at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. It is free. Every single day at 3:00, we send headlines, and you will know everything that's going on. Visit blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. It is free and easy to do. And we will see you next week, and hopefully the Wi-Fi will be good.
Yeah, but I want to remind everybody, as I'm pointing, that really it's how big my finger is. I want to remind everybody to go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com, and remember, go regularly, because like we've got like the Sturban interview I was talking about. We're going to have interviews more on the Jubilee and things that are coming up in the near future. So there's stuff coming up all the time. Send us your news.
Next week is huge. And send your news to news@blackbeltnewsnetwork.com.
Please.
Next week is going to be huge with the Jubilee. Staff's going to be everywhere. We're going to be taking pictures and videos, and we do like to be a part of Jubilee and let you guys know what's going on. And we are the only news service that covers the entire Black Belt. And we're trying, we're growing. We are celebrating our 1-year anniversary of the Black Belt News Network on March 1st.
Wow.
So support by reading us, following us, and liking and subscribing to what we're doing. Show us that you want us to be here more than just 1 year to cover the Black Belt at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next week. Y'all have a great week.